Good morning, guys. Thank you for attending this Microsoft Virtual Activation session. For today's presenter will be Susan, and Susan, you can take over right now.
Thank you very much, Harry. Good morning, everyone. My name is Susan Bugwa. I'm residing in Kenya, and today I'll be taking you through, how to efficiently work from home remotely, and I'll be giving you some tools that you can be able to, show your customers so that they can be able to efficiently work from home. Uh, I manage the Microsoft CSP business, which is a cloud solution provider business in East Africa. And we'll be going through some few presentations and two demos so that I can be able to efficiently show you how you can, take charge back of your business and be able to be profitable in this time and also to stay afloat. Okay, so I'll be going through a few of the topics that we'll be starting with, and then I hope you can all see my presentation. There's a chat box, so in case you have any questions, you can drop them on the chat box, and then we will be able to answer you once I am done presenting. Okay, so I hope everyone can see my presentation, and I'm just going to start. Okay, so our agendas for today will be how to efficiently work from home, the tools that you will use to efficiently work from home, which will be a few licenses I will be presenting. So Office 365 plans. We will mainly focus on the Office 365 Enterprise E1 license, and then we will have a touch on Teams because it is one of our Microsoft's major licenses that is giving people the opportunity to work from home and is giving us all a chance to stay safe and stay home. Then I will go on to Microsoft CSP promotions that we have in 2020 in this period. So we have a few promotions. Redington has partnered with Microsoft, and we have a few promotions that we have launched. So I will make you aware of them so that you can be able to, take the opportunity. And then I will do a live demo of the Cloud Quarks portal. For those of you who are not aware what the Cloud Quarks portal is, I will start from scratch and I will be demonstrating on how to start and how to use it for those of you who have not used it. Okay, once I'm done with that, we will have a conclusion and then we'll have some questions from all the attendees. Don't be afraid to ask me anything, even if it is something that you feel like everyone else knows. You can just go ahead and ask me, I will answer you. Okay, so now I will just start with, everyone is aware of the situation that is going on the ground right now. So with this COVID-19 impact, people around the world are forced to work from home, and we are not going to the office, we are not going out. So how can we take advantage of Microsoft licensing? How can we be able to be productive while we're staying at home? Okay, so how Microsoft solutions help you to enable remote work? I'll give you a few examples. So empower people to stay productive. How does it do this? It will enable people to meet and collaborate from home through Teams, and then make productive applications available on any device. So as you know, even with Teams and other licenses, you can be able to even install them on your phone. You can be able to put them in your phone, and you will be able to, let me just, I'm being told my presentation is not visible. Let me just put it on live. Just a minute. Okay, now we can go ahead. Sorry about that. So we were on how Microsoft solutions will help you enable remote working. I know most of you already have an idea of this, but we are going to go through it again so that we can be able to, give a chance to the people who don't know. So engage people with virtual events and communication, deliver the best virtual desktop experience, And then maintain security and control. So secure remote access to applications, and then secure managed and unmanaged devices. So let's go to the next slide. So how does it enable people to meet and collaborate from home? So it keeps employees productive even when working remotely. So for example, we have different types of employees in an organization, and I'll be going through each and every one of them so that you can be able to understand. Okay, so you have information workers. It provides a powerful meeting, collaboration, and workflow experience to those working from home. Okay, and then we have first-line workers. So it connects workers to the rest of the organization with a digital tool for communication, collaboration, and shifts. So as we all know, right now we have different groups of people. There are some people working from home. There are some people who are first line, so they have to go to work still. And there are, of course, our healthcare, schools, and government. So it also enables them to enable remote work and learning with industries and schools and all that. So for example, if we have a doctor, they are always in the hospital at this time and have very limited time with their families or with other people who are outside of their profession. So, with apps like Teams, they can be able to have video conferences with their family. They can be able to share some information that they have gotten every day. Even with with patients in the hospital, you can be able to connect with your family and tell them, I'm okay and things like that. So that's what we mean there. And then we have the next slide where Microsoft Teams is the hub for teamwork in Microsoft 365. So as you all know, we have a solution that Microsoft came up with that is known as Microsoft 365. This solution includes Office 365, where you have your applications, Office applications and your services like, Teams and Yammer and all. And then we have Windows, which is your operating system found in M365. And then we have enterprise, mobility, and security. So that is what is contained in M365. So Teams is the hub for teamwork in this solution. So you can be able to have meetings and have calls as we are doing right now. And as you can see there on the demo where it shows 4 people having a meeting, you can be able to see what Teams gives you access to. You have your calendar where you can be able to set up all your meetings. You have calls where you can be able to call your contacts. And by the way, I had a question from one of the partners recently where they were telling me, with Teams, we are just only able to communicate with people from our organizations. That is not the case. With Teams, you can be able to communicate with people from your organization and also with people who are outside your organization. And this meeting that we're having right now is a demonstration of that. Okay, and then there are other things, by the way, so many things that Teams does that not everyone knows about. So for example, we have sharing of documentation. You can create private teams within different, maybe the IT group, they have a project, they can be able to create a private group for themselves, invite all the participants that will be within that one project, and then share documentation on that project, where you find that even if you've left your laptop at home and you have, Teams installed on your phone, you can just log into your phone and you can download the document that is important and that you need. So this is a very, very big advantage to us, because sometimes you find, even in this situation that we're in, finding ourselves that you have to work from home, you don't have certain documents, and it's such a hassle for you. Maybe it's an LPO, local purchase order, or it's a document that is supposed to be signed and all these things, and you find yourself in such a hassle to move that document on mail from one party to the other, and then to the other person maybe is not even in the office, they're not being found. So it's such a big hassle for you to get such a small task to be completed. So with Teams, this is easier, because what you can do is that you can just add all the people who are concerned with that particular order in one group. and then share all the documentation that is supposed to be signed and stamped and all that, share it in that group, and then communicate to the person who is supposed to do certain thing to do it, the other person who's supposed to do a certain thing, maybe in procurement, to do it, all in one chat, so that you don't end up having 1,000, 100 emails on one topic that is only, please sign this document, please do this. Okay. All right, so let's go to the next. So this just shows chat and collaboration. This is what we are doing now. You can be able to chat with people in your organization and tell them what's going on, share documents, as you can see there in the image. And then we have apps and workflow, where you can be able to, as you can see here, you can be able to see the applications that are being used on the teams. Okay, this other one, I think it's like I'm repeating myself, but it has to be clear to everyone the capabilities of Teams, so you can be able to participate in interactive online meetings with video and chat. Example, what we are doing now. Okay. Collaborate with people inside and outside your organization. As I was saying, Teams is not only for the people inside your organization, you can also be able to chat with people outside of your organization. Okay, automate workflows with low-code tools in Microsoft Teams. Okay, so this is what I was saying. You can be able to, when working remotely, paper processes are hard. As I was saying, having visibility to activities across teams can be challenging. When working remotely, it is important to have aligned goals. So this is all what I'm saying. With Teams, you can be able to create groups for individual tasks and be able to complete them without the hassles of writing mails and trying to call people to find them. They'll just come in the chat and see, okay, this is where we are in this whole process. If it's my job to do this thing, I will do this thing. If I'm stalling the project because I've not done one or two things, I will do this thing. Okay. So how to roll out Teams and drive adoption. So for you as a partner, I know what has brought you here in this meeting is, yes, we know about Teams. Yes, we know about Office 365, but how can I drive the adoption to my customer? That is one of the main things. In my experience personally, dealing with partners, sometimes customers, what I have seen is that in 2018, the adoption, 2017 the adoption was quite slow of all cloud licenses, but once it came to 2018, 2019, the adoption really picked up. And without saying this year, the adoption has really picked up because people are forced to work remotely. So this is the best time for you as a partner to drive adoption to your clients. And how is Redington and Microsoft going to help you to drive this adoption? We are giving you promotions that will enable you to give the customer the licenses, which we'll talk about later. Tell them, you know what, yes, we know it is expensive, and right now, according to the situation that we are in, maybe you don't have the finances for this. We'll give you this license for 6 months for free, so that you can be able to test it out, know how it is being, you can use it, and then after that, we'll talk about if you need it in your business or not. Okay. So in terms of Microsoft, what they have for you is unlimited resources. So with Microsoft, there is unlimited study guides, unlimited resources on their website that can help you understand Teams yourself as a partner, first of all, use Teams yourself as a partner, and then after that, be able to explain Teams to a customer where they're like, okay, it does this and this and this. Yes, and you can be able to answer all the questions they have for you. So Microsoft has unlimited resources for that. As Redington, we also deliver trainings like these ones every month to enable the partner to know what they're selling and to drive adoption to the customer. Okay. So the next topic we are going to go to, we are still under how you can enable your customer to, to drive adoption on Teams and also remotely working from home. Okay, engage people with virtual events and communication. Okay, so you can be able to join, live and on demand in events. So you can be able to reach any audience across and outside your organization, as you can see, news and announcements. So keep employees, partners, and customers informed and up to date. So this has been happening in all our organizations, as you know, because when you're home, you don't know what is happening in the organization. So this also has been happening, and you can be able to testify to that, because you've been getting announcements, events like this. You've gotten an announcement from us through your email, and now we are having this event through Teams, and you can be able to get information that prior you would have not been able to get. Okay, so just a minute as we continue. I just want to tell you that as we go on with the event, we will continue with the remote working session, how to efficiently work from home. I will do a presentation on Office 365 E1 for a short bit, and then we'll have a short break so that we can be able to get back and start with the live demos. Okay, so the other thing, let's go to the next slide. So this is virtual events, deliver training to your customers and partners, update employees with company meetings, host your conference online. So you can even be able to host your conferences online, because Teams enables you to join up to 250 individuals in a call. Okay. So the next slide, we are going to talk about make Office applications available on any device. Okay. So keep your remote workers productive with Office. So as you know, right now in the situation that you're in, you might find that some people are really finding it hard to work from home because they don't have the efficient tools that will enable them to work from home. So help your team stay productive, pick up where you left off, and keep collaborating from anywhere. Okay, so stay connected to the best of Office 365 wherever you are. So you can be able to manage your time, emails, and alerts from wherever you are. You can be able to save time and keep focus with scheduling assistant, action cards, and other tools. Keep collaborating with people fast search. Okay, and then you can be able to have your Word, Excel, PowerPoint in a single app. Okay, you can have new and unique mobile capabilities, make creating, editing, and collaborating. Okay, sorry about that. So let's just continue with our presentation. So productivity apps, adoption and guidance. Okay, so you can be able to install these apps in your home PCs. You can be able to install them in your mobile devices, and you can be able to have browser access using your home Wi-Fi's or your data bundles. Okay. Okay, so on this point, I will be sharing another presentation where we will be able to now deep dive into Office 365 and the individual licensing that I'm talking about that will enable you be more productive at home. So I'm just sharing my screen now, and you can be able to see this. So just a minute. Okay. I think you can all see my screen now. So for most of you, I know you already are aware of Office 365, but there are so many changes that have happened recently, and I want to make you aware of them so that you can stay aware and be able to know the opportunities that are there for you as a partner. So traditionally, the Office 365 plans that we have are in segments. So for example, one, we know that for education, we have special pricing for education customers. And then for non-profit customers, which means your non-governmental organization, non-profit organizations and all that, we have special pricing for them as well. And then for commercial, we have special pricing. And for government, we had special pricing, but on CSP, government and commercial are the same pricing. So also to clarify, when you're asking for education pricing, the entity that you're selling to must be confirmed by Microsoft that it is a school or it is an education institution. When you're asking for non-profit pricing, the entity that you're selling to must be confirmed that it is a non-profit organization by Microsoft, okay? And then commercial, the pricing is just standard to everyone. So when you come to the licenses individually, we have 3 categories here, as you can see. We have Office 365 Home, and as the name suggests, this is just for the home, or for few people in a household. And then we have Office 365 Business, where now this we go to a small business or a medium business. And then we have Office 365 Enterprise. So when you see E1, E3, E5, it means Enterprise E1, Enterprise E3, and Enterprise E5. And the E1, E3, and E5 are just the levels of applications and the levels of levels. For example, E1 is a low level. It doesn't have as much as E3, and then E5 has additional applications like Power BI for statistics and all that. So we'll go through these one by one. So now we are in the business category. So in the business category, we have 3 plans that are available to us, but I'll also talk about one additional plan because right now, for your information, there is a promotion that Microsoft is running for the M365 business license as well. So I'll just give you the difference when a customer asks you for, and this is very important, you should pay attention because this is where you'll get the edge in selling to your customer. So if we have 3 scenarios, okay? The first scenario is a customer who they had maybe the on-premise license, okay? And this on-premise license maybe 2013, and this license that they had, they are already able to have Office applications. By Office applications, I mean the Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and all that. But their emails, because this is a very old version of the Office, their emails are not working and things like that. They come to you and they tell you, we need an Office 365 license that will enable us to have emails and will enable us to communicate with other organizations and internally properly, because our emails, our exchange is very old. So for this particular customer, you need to give them Office 365 Business Essentials. Why Business Essentials? Because this is best for businesses that need business emails and other business services. Office applications in this license are not included. So if you give them Business Essentials, they will only get emails, okay? They will get the Exchange Online, which will enable them to have their emails up to date. And as you know, with the Office 365 license, it is always up to date. It does not require an upgrade, okay? It does not require an upgrade because upgrades are built internally into the license. So whenever a new version comes in, it is built internally into the Office 365 license. So it is different from the 2019s where you had, you're having this license and then in 3 years you have an upgrade and then an upgrade. No, that is not how it works. This is another, segment where these licenses are built to have internal upgrades within the license. Okay, so that is the first scenario. A customer does not have emails, but they have Office applications. You give them Business Essentials. The other scenario is that the customer has their emails are okay, their emails are okay, they are able to communicate, but they do not have Office applications. Office applications are the PowerPoints and what have you. What do you give them? You will give them Office 365 Business, because this license contains the Office applications, which are all your PowerPoints and your Excels and all that, but it does not contain now the services part of it. Okay, so this is best for businesses that need Office applications plus cloud file storage. So it does have OneDrive and sharing. Business emails are not included. Okay, and then we go to the other level of it. So we have Essentials at the lowest level, which is only emails, and then we have Business, which is only Office applications, and then we have Premium. Premium is simple. It's just a combination of Essentials and Business. So it has all your Office applications and it has all your services. Okay, so that's it for the business plan. And if you understand the business plan, you will be able to understand all Microsoft licensing. Why do I say that? Because with all Microsoft licensing, the hierarchy is the same. The names are just there to show you that this one has these capabilities, this one has these capabilities, and this other one has these capabilities. So the hierarchy for Microsoft licensing is the same across the home licenses, across the enterprise licenses. Okay, so I will explain the one more license that I wanted to include here because of the promotion that is currently running. Okay, so now we go into Microsoft 365. As I discussed before, Office 365 is a license, but Microsoft 365 is a complete solution. So there's a difference, you know. Office 365 is contained in Microsoft 365. So in this category of business licenses, we have a license that is known as Microsoft 365 Business. Okay, so Microsoft 365 Business contains three things. It has Office 365 Business Premium inside of it. It has Windows 10 E3, and then it has Enterprise Mobility and Security for Business. Okay, so it has three things. So that is the Microsoft 365 license. So if you have a client who wants everything and they don't want all these integrations between maybe a security solution from this vendor, and then an OS from this other vendor, and then an Office applications from Microsoft, you know, they want everything in one. You can be able to give them Microsoft 365 Business, and this goes for both commercial and education. In education, it's a little, the name is different, but the concept is the same, because in education, the name is Microsoft 365 A3, which means A3 for faculty, and then we have A3 for students. So with education licenses, we always have the licenses for students and the licenses for faculty. One secret I'll give to you here, if you don't already know, if you want an education license and you buy an education license, for example, Office 365 A3 for faculty, you should get the student license for free through CSP. Okay, through CSP, you will get the student licenses for free in the ratio of 1:40. What do I mean? For example, you have 10 faculty in a school, in a university, okay? And these 10 faculty, you buy for them Office 365 A3 or Microsoft 365 A3 for 10 people. You will get 400 students for free. Okay, so you don't have again to go and buy the student licenses. You can get them for $0. For $0 as long as you have the faculty licenses. So if you have 10 faculty, you get 400 students. If you have 100 faculty, you get 100 times 40, which is 4,000 students for free. Okay, so I'm done with the business license. So let's go on to the Office 365 enterprise licenses. So let me give you the difference between, I will not be discussing about the home licenses because you know, the home licenses are in another category. This is for CSP, and the home is still on the on-premise side of things, but I can mention it just one or two things, okay? But let's first go to the enterprise. So with the enterprise licenses, what is the difference between my business license and my enterprise license? It's not a big difference. If you want to understand your customer and you want to understand what they need, in Africa, in East Africa, mostly what I see is that the enterprises are very few. The organizations that need enterprise licenses are very few, but majority of the organizations are the ones who need business licenses, because in East Africa we have very many SMBs or SMEs, but we have a handful of enterprises who will need your E5s and your E3s and your E1s, majorly because if you give a small business an enterprise license, okay, fine, you can be able to do it if they want to, but they will be charged more and they will not use fully the license, okay? So sorry, you need to understand what your customer requirements are and the size of the organization that you're selling to. Okay, so let's start off with hello. Sorry about that. So I was saying Office 365 Enterprise E3, E1. This license, I will be going deeper into it just in a few minutes because we need to understand what it contains, because it is the license that has the promotion. Okay. So E1 has business services, emails, file storage and sharing, Office Online, meetings, IM, and more. Office applications are not included. So let me explain a bit about this. So Office 365 E1, it has everything is online. So it's web-based. So if you buy the Office 365 E1 license, you will not be able to install any Office anything on your desktop. Everything will be accessed from the web. Okay, so I guess we are clear there. So everything will be accessed from the web. So you do have your office applications, but you will only be able to access them from the web. Okay, and then we have Office 365 Enterprise E3. So all features of Office 365 Pro Plus and Office 365 E1 plus security and compliance tools such as legal hold, data loss prevention, and more. Okay, so in this one, you will understand that all the features in Office 365 Pro Plus and Office 365 E1 are contained here. So I can give you an example. E3 is equivalent to Premium. Office 365 Business Premium is equivalent to it, but because it is an enterprise license, it has additional features that are added onto it for security and compliance tools. Okay, and data loss prevention and more. Then we go to the E5. The only difference between the E5 and the E3 is that the E5, it has additional features which include the Power BI and advanced security analytics and voice capabilities. Okay, the Pro Plus license, I know it is you know about it most because it was there even in the on-premise side of things. So Office applications plus cloud file storage and sharing. Business emails are not included. So you can compare the Pro Plus to the Office 365 business license. Okay, you can, it has a little bit of comparison if you're comparing between the enterprise and the business licenses. Okay, so that's it for our enterprise license. I will mention another, two solutions in this category because the same way I mentioned the Microsoft 365 business license in the business category, this category has two solutions, which are Microsoft 365 Enterprise E3 and Microsoft 365 Enterprise E5. So in these solutions, not licenses, solutions, we have your Office 365 Enterprise E3, we have your Enterprise Mobility and Security, and then we have your Windows 10 Enterprise E3. So we have everything bundled into one, your operating system, your Office applications, your Exchange Online, your security. So by the way, if you do have Enterprise Mobility and Security in the M365, you do not need additional, you do need some additional security features, but it caters for most of your security needs within the emails and the Office application side of things. Okay, and then for the E5, it is just the same. The difference is you have Office 365 E5, Windows 10 E5, and Enterprise Mobility and Security. Okay, so I hope you have some bit of understanding on this, because I have had many partners asking me what is the difference between this and this, and getting it wrong on email. Because if you send me an email telling me, can you please give me the pricing of Office 365? You know, there are 100 Office 365. Which one do you want? So you need to be specific. And if you don't know, ask the customer. What do you need? Do you need emails? Do you need Excel, PowerPoint, which are your Office applications? Do you need an operating system? What do you want? And then when they give you the specifications, send us the specifications, and we can be able to check it out and see this customer requires this and this. There's another very important thing when you're requesting for licenses. Okay, and this is what I was saying is the difference between enterprise licenses and business licenses. So each customer is different in company size, and you find that, for example, in Redington, we have more than 300 people in the employee as employees, and then maybe in another medium organization they have 150 people, and then in another one they have 50, and another one they have 20 or 10. Okay, so categorize them. If you have an organization with more than 300 people, you cannot sell to them Office 365 business licenses. Okay, because Office 365 business licenses have a cap of 300 users. So that is the major difference between if you're going to sell this customer business licenses, or you're going to sell them enterprise licenses. Okay, so if you go ahead and sell to an organization that has 400 people business licenses, then only 300 of them will get the business, and then the 100 you will be forced to search for other licenses, which will be an extra cost to the customer. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and discuss about Office 365 E1. And on this license, we are going to see what it contains and why Microsoft has decided to give an offer on this particular license. Okay, so with the Enterprise E1 license, you have web-based Office apps and business services. So Office desktops apps are not included. So if you have a customer who is telling you, I want all the licenses, maybe I want Office applications to be installed in my desktop, you cannot be able to give them E1. You will have to give them E3 or E5. Okay, or business according to the company size. So this one only has web-based. And then you get email, file storage and sharing, meetings and instant messaging. Okay, you have 5-layer security and monitoring to help keep your data safe. And then you have guaranteed uptime of 99.9% uptime. Okay, so we will go through the features one by one. So what exactly do you get when you get this license? So you get Office on tablets and phones. As I said, this will be web-based, so you cannot be able to install them permanently into your machine. So this can be installed in either iOS or Android and Windows devices with screen sizes of 10.1 or less. Each user can install Office apps on 5 tablets and 5 phones. Office desktop apps not included. So what I mean by this is each user, so if you're one user, because you know Office licenses is 1 license per user. So you can be able, with your user identification, you can be able to log in or put this license in 5 devices. Okay, you can be able to put it in your laptop, in your tablet, in your phone, in 5 devices. Okay, and then you have emails and calendars. I think that is self-explanatory, but what I'll mention is the GB. So you get a 50 GB mailbox per user and send attachments up to 150 MB. Okay. Okay, so you have the hub for teamwork. So it does contain Teams. So connect your Teams with Microsoft Teams on Office 365, where chat, content, people, and tools live together. Use Teams to plan schedules, assign tasks, and connect to other apps and resources. And then we have workflow automation, where you can be able to build automated workflows between apps and services to get notification, synchronize files, collect data, and more with Microsoft Flow. No coding required. Okay, I don't know how many of you know about this, but you can be able to get this feature on your Office 365 E1, which right now is actually on offer. So it goes for $0, but we'll get into that later on. Okay, so communication and work management. So you can just tell me on the chat who knows about Microsoft Kazala, who has ever used Microsoft Kazala before. So on communication and chat, Microsoft Kazala makes it easy to connect and collaborate with your first-line workers, partners, and customers wherever they are, using a simple to use chat interface. Okay, let me just talk about it a little bit. So Microsoft Kazala is, let me compare it to your WhatsApp. Okay, but it has additional features that, you know, WhatsApp doesn't have. So in your Microsoft Kazala, the groups that you can be able to form the group that you can be able to form goes up to millions. What I mean is that you can be able to invite millions and millions of people there in one group. So that is number 1 on Microsoft Kazala. And then it works the same as Teams, so you can be able to make a call to your colleague. You can be able to have a chat with them just immediately. You can be able to install it on your phone. It is not a heavy application. You can have it on your phone, and it can give you access to sharing of documents and all these things. So that is Microsoft Kazala. For those of you who have not heard of it, it's very broad. It needs a training session on its own. But since we are talking about E1 that contains this one, you can be able to understand that if you get E1, you will be able to get Microsoft Kazala as an app. So you can be able to use it as well. And then we go to online meetings. So you can be able to host online meetings with audio, HD video, and web conferencing, broadcast meetings online for up to 10,000 people who can join with just a browser on almost any device. Okay, so that's I think that is self-explanatory. And then we go to professional digital storytelling. With Sway, you can easily create engaging, interactive web-based reports, presentation, newsletters, trainings, and more, right from your phone, tablet, or browser. Okay, then we go to file storage and sharing. Let me just mention what you're given here. So OneDrive for Business gives each user 1 TB of personal cloud storage. So for each user, you're given 1 TB of personal cloud storage that can be accessed from anywhere, any device. Easily share documents with other inside and outside the organization, and control who you can see and edit each file. Okay, so this is very interesting. You can be able to control who can see certain documents and who can't see them. So that means you can be able, to separate the workforce. If something is for procurement or something like that, you can be able to keep it in that group, shared within those people, and no one else outside the department will be able to see your documents. So you can do this by creating, private kind of secured communication between those people that you want the document to be shared to. So with this one, what it actually means is that documents do have, you can be able to secure your documents that certain people in the organization will not be able to read. I think I'm clear on that. So it has security features where you can lock certain documents so that they cannot be seen by certain individuals in the organization. Okay. And then we have enterprise video service. So use Microsoft Stream to easily create, manage, and share videos. Okay. All right. So these are just some of the requirements in the required processor, required operating system. I think with this one, you need to actually research on yourself so that you can be able to know what is required in order for you to have this E1 license. Okay. So up to there, I would like to see if anyone has any questions, because from there what I will be doing is that I will go into a different segment where I will talk about the promotions that we are having and how you can be able to use these promotions from scratch. For example, if I want a promotion of E1 right now, what do I have to do? So that is what I will be talking about. So if anyone has any questions, you can put them in the chat box, and then I will be continuing with my PowerPoint presentation from there. Okay, so just give me a minute. I'm just sharing the Word document so that you can be able to see. Okay. Okay, so I will be going through each and every presentation on its own. So number one, the Microsoft CSP promotions we are running at the moment. We have a promotion from Microsoft Office 365 E1, and then we have one for Teams. Okay, so what does the promotion entail? So I'll just give you the specific details. So Microsoft has announced a new Office 365 E1 CSP trial created specifically to support the partner response to the current situation, and will be available in addition to the current Microsoft Teams CSP trial, which has no exchange and 2 GB of storage. Okay. So what happened is that we had a Microsoft Teams promotion in the beginning, but we realized that most of these customers that we are selling to, okay, do not have a domain. Okay, so in order to enable us to efficiently help the partner to sell to them, we needed to give a license that you can be able to have a domain and have all the Office applications and have an entire experience of the Office 365 license. Okay, so this is why we came up with E1. So the functionality and also on the storage part. So the functionality of this new trial will be equivalent to the Office 365 E1 trial, and it will be for 6 months of free use for up to 3,000 users. This trial will be available through CSP, which allows partners to initiate and manage the trial experience. Okay, so the users will be up to 3,000, and the use will be up to 6 months of free usage. Okay, so you need to take advantage of it now, so you can be able, because this is the period that they're giving for you to get this trial. Of course, there will come a period where we are not informed yet, but the promotion might not be there. So just take advantage of it, because these are very many users, and you can be able to, even as you as a partner, try it out yourself so that you can know how it is used before you sell it. Okay, so amid the crisis, Redington is here to support you with free advisory for the migration, which includes the below. So as Redington, we will create the tenant for the customer. I will be showing you how to do this in this presentation. We will do domain verification for you. I will be showing you the same. Best practice to securely work on your Office 365, and then multi-factor authentication, which is MFA, and then bulk user import template. So Redington will be able to support you so that you can be able to migrate up to 50 users of the customer, only 50 users. Okay, so the Teams trial is pretty much the same. We will be giving you Teams. I think the users are less than 3,000 for Teams. Yes, they are. So for Teams, the users are less than the 3,000 in the previous E1. So these are the promotions we are running. For education, we also have a promotion directly from Microsoft. So as you know, for education, the Office 365 A1 and the Microsoft 365 A1 come as a free license to users. So sorry, I do not have the banner for that one, but that is what is happening as well for the education part of things. So here I would like us to take maybe do we need a break really? I think we can be able to complete this because it's not that much. It's just simple things. So so we can just go ahead, and I'll be showing you now a live demo of the Office 360 of the Redington portal, which is known as the CloudQuarks portal. So here is where I also need you to pay very close attention, because I know most of you are here for this reason as well. So let me just share that with you now. Okay. So as you can see here, if you as a user, as a first-time user, you want to know what I'm talking about, what is this CloudQuarks portal that I'm talking about, you can just go to portal.redington.market. Okay, so that is the link that you're supposed to use in order to come to this site that I'm having in front of me. And as you can see, the name of this is CloudQuarks, and I'm going to just go from scratch. if you're a partner and you do not have this in your organization right now, this is provided by Redington, but it has, you know, Microsoft as a vendor where you can be able to transact Microsoft products. Okay, so let me just go through it. So once you come to this link right here, and maybe you've not registered with us at all, you're not a partner of Redington and you don't know where to start, you just go here to your top right, you sign in, and as you can see, it will give you options. It will give you options of register as an existing partner or register as a new partner. Okay, so you just go here. For example, you're a new partner, you just go here to the new partner and you click on register. It will prompt you to give your personal information, the country that you transact with. So in Redington, all these countries that are here, you can be able to transact from. Okay, so as you can see, we have Kenya, we have Ethiopia, we have West Africa, which is Nigeria, Ghana, we have Middle East also. So all these countries that are here, Uganda, Tanzania, all that. So you can be able to just put your country and then put your first name and all this information that is here. The next thing will be, it will take you to your organization information. You'll put in your organization information and then you will put in the required documents. Okay, so you will upload the required documents that Redington requires in order for you to become a partner. Once we receive that on our end, we will go, and myself, I am the one who is in charge of, you know, making it, sending it for approval. Once it is approved, then you will be able to transact as a Redington partner. Okay, so the next scenario is that, for example, you are already a Redington partner, but you haven't really started transacting on CSP. By CSP, I mean the Microsoft Cloud Solution Provider Program. Okay, so I go here to existing partner and I say register. So for each and every Redington partner, we have a code, a specific code for them. So we are the one with that information. So we will just give you your code. You will put it here, and then you will select the country that you want to transact from. If it is Kenya, if it is Ghana, you just select it and then you search. It will bring all the information. You will fill it, create your username and password, and after that you will be able to log in. Okay, so now you have already registered and you want now to log in. You will just come here and put your username and password, click this, and then you will sign in. Once you sign in, it will bring you to a page that looks like this. So I'm just signing in. Okay, so as you can see, this is how the partner page will look like. Maybe most of you already have this. So in this particular presentation, I will be showing you everything, and then at the very end, I will show you how to install the promotions that we have running, because there's a different procedure on how you do that. Okay, so what you do, number one, is what you need to know is we have two things. We have the country. So if you're from Kenya, it will show Kenya here. If you're from Ghana, it will show Ghana. If you're from each and every country, it will show the specific country that you're from. Okay, so now what happens is that there's the control panel here. So the control panel right here is this: home, account, credit information, user management, vendor setup, and customer management, my orders, contract, subscription, renewal management, usage reports, pre-invoice, and invoice and billing. So the beauty of this portal is that it eliminates all the work that we previously had to do in order to place an order. So everything is automated, and the partner, because this is a partner portal, so this is a portal that Redington gives the partner for free, each and every partner. as a dedicated cloud. So what happens is that if you're more technical and want to understand it more technically, is that, you know, with cloud we have IaaS, which is infrastructure as a service, we have SaaS, which is software as a service, and we have PaaS, which is platform as a service. So this here is platform as a service. Redington gives you a dedicated cloud that you can be able to transact and share, do resource pooling by sharing the resources that are there in bulk from Microsoft. Okay, so we have partners in multiple dedicated clouds sharing the same resources. Okay, so now when you first come into this portal, you're a new partner and you've come into this portal, the first stop point that you need to go to is vendor setup here. So that is the first place, number one, that you need to go to. Okay, so as you can see here, this is just a demonstration account. Okay, so we have a drop down box here. So this drop down box will contain Microsoft CSP, Microsoft Azure, and AWS. Okay, in this training we are only discussing Microsoft, so it will contain Microsoft CSP and Microsoft Azure. Okay, so as you know, Office 365 and Azure are two different portals in the Microsoft side. Okay, so that's why we have two different separate approvals for both. But having said that, you can be able to use the same MPN ID. By the way, I didn't mention the MPN ID, Microsoft Partner Network ID. This is the ID that is required from the partner so that you can be able to transact as a Microsoft partner through any place. Okay, so if you don't have a Microsoft partner identification, you are not a Microsoft partner. You cannot be able to buy and sell any Microsoft product. So, and I am aware that things have really changed in the past 2 years. So, you know, if you are doing volume licensing before and maybe you're still doing it, it is the same thing. Whatever email you are using there, you can be able to use it this other side and check if your MPN ID is still active, because if it is not active, it will require some kind of activation so that you can be able to continue. And then let me mention this here with the Microsoft Partner Network. There are 3 levels of partnership. We have Action Pack partnership, we have Silver partnership, and we have Gold partnership. Most of the partners that I work with in East Africa, this is changing slowly, but most of the partners are just Microsoft Partner Network holders. That means you are not a partner yet. Yes, you are a partner, but you are not a dedicated partner. So there are some services that you will not be able to access. Okay, e.g., when there is a tender and you're asking us for, you know, what is it called? There's a tender and you're asking us for a MAF. It will be harder for Microsoft to give you a MAF if you're just an MPN holder, because they are not sure if you're certified enough to handle their customers. So one, you need to move from MPN holder to Action Pack, Silver, or Gold, so that Microsoft can be confident that you're able to handle their customers and provide the right information to their customers. Okay, so that's about the MPN ID. So if you have it, you will just come and select here. Let me select this one because I've already selected for the other ones. Okay, this is different. So you will select here and it will bring a box here and you will put your MPN ID. And if it is X, it means that your MPN ID is non-existent or is inactive or is wrong. Okay, those are the 3 scenarios. Either it is wrong or it is not active. Okay, that's it for that. So once you enter your MPN ID here, your portal is activated now to be active. Okay, because what happens is that the MPN ID connects the partner to Microsoft, to Redington, and then the domain name connects the customer to the partner to Microsoft. So that's how the licenses are able to be sent directly to the end customer account. Okay, so now once you've done this is the first stop shop for you. The next stop shop for you should be checking out your account. Okay, maybe you can just even go to home. so that you can check out your account, how it looks like. So for example, for this particular demo account, it has six customers, so you can be able to go and see the customers you have. The orders are 0 for reasons known to you. It is a demo. And then available credit. So available credit means the amount that you can place an order for. So if you have an order for 2,000 and your credit is 1,000, it means the order will not go through. So you need first to change this credit balance. How do you change it? By talking now to the sales individuals in your own regions, and then they can be able to discuss with their finance. If finance determine you're an advance partner, that means you'll have to pay in advance. If you're a credit partner, meaning that you have credit terms, you will be given the correct credit terms. Okay. And then we have the date of expiry. So the portal, as I said, is fully automated. So it gives you when some contracts are expiring. So this will never catch you off guard. Okay. And then we have payment dues, means the overdue that you as a partner have to pay to Redington. And then data usage. So for the data usage, this is for also Azure, because Azure also is captured in this portal. You can be able to transact with your Azure partners on this portal. I will show you later. Okay, so once you've done that, you come here, and as you can see in all categories, you have infrastructure as a service, where you have public cloud, and then you have productivity, where you have your M365 licenses, your Office licenses, your Windows licenses, you have your Dynamics licenses, you have your backup here, you have your email security and all that, and services. So what I normally do is just I come here and I search maybe Office 365, okay, and just say E1, because for purposes of this so as you can see, let me just, okay, so as you can see, we have all these Office 365 licenses here, and they are available in the portal, meaning all you have to do is just select one of them like that. You just like that, put, if you want to do monthly billing or annual billing, put the quantity, and then you add to cart. You can continue, or you can go ahead and view your cart, and you will be able to see the licenses that you have purchased here. So one unique thing with the Redington portal is that you can be able to apply discounts here. Okay, so for example, we've discussed a discount of maybe 5%. Okay, you will be able to come and we will give you a discount coupon. So this one you will receive from the salesperson. They give you a discount coupon and you come and apply your discounts here. Okay, you can also be able to clear shopping cart if that license is not the correct license that you required. Okay, so if it goes, you know, to another place, all you can do is just come back to the control panel. So it takes you back to the control panel. Okay, so right now we've learned about, you've put the vendor setup, and then you've gone to the license, you've put the license in the basket, and now we have to go to the next step, the end customer, because you're selling to someone. So even with the promotion, this is one of the major steps where you come and add the customer. So now let me discuss about these promotions, the E1 and the teams. So to begin with, a customer calls you, they tell you, we need a promotion for E1. The first step, make sure your vendor setup, your MPN is active. Because if your MPN is not active, you'll not be able to do anything. Number 2, you come to end customer management. You put company name and all these details. Personal information, this means the person who in the customer organization, who is in charge of the IT department, or the one who is in charge of is the admin of the Microsoft end customer account. Okay, once you put in all this information, you save. Okay, so once you save this customer, I'll just go back to a saved customer already. So for example, this customer is saved here. Okay, so once you save, you come here to these 3 icons. This one means activate. This one means link. This one means edit. So you come to the middle icon and say link. Okay. So once you say link, it will bring you to a page like this. You can see you have two options here. So talking about the domain and all these things, we have two types of Microsoft customers. Microsoft customer number one, the customer who does not have any email domain and does not they have never used any Office 365 or any Office Microsoft product they've never used. That is the first customer. Customer number two is a customer who has previously used maybe 2020 an on-premise license, and now they want to come to Office 365, or they have an email domain and now they want to move to Office 365. So for the first customer who has never done this and does not have an email domain, you come here and select Microsoft CSP. Okay. Once you select Microsoft CSP, it will give you two options: create new tenant and link existing tenant. So for the create new option, create new tenant, this is for the customer who does not have an email domain, meaning they don't have any tenant ID. So we need to create for them. So what you do is that you just, if their name is test customer one, you just create a domain for them, test cast one. Okay. So, and you check availability for this. So what am I doing in this page? Most of the partner get confused. What I'm doing in this page is that I am creating a Microsoft tenant, not a Redington tenant, a Microsoft tenant. So once I create this tenant, they will have a Microsoft domain name. They will have a Microsoft domain. Okay. So it is telling me this one is already taken. So you just play around with the names and you check availability for the names until you find the name that is available for you. So this one is available. Please click save and continue to create a new tenant. And then you click save. Okay. Once you click save, it will automatically create this tenant here, and it will have a domain, it will have a customer ID and organization ID, which is the tenant ID, and the status will be active. Okay, I don't want to create it right now because I want to show you for the linking as well. Okay, so that is done. Once this is done, I will show you the next process. Now you're trying to install the trial license for your customer. So you've add your customer details, and then you've created a domain for them, for the customers who do not have an email domain, and you've saved. So now keep that one. If your customer already has a domain, you come to link existing customer. Okay, so let me first just delete this. So you come to link existing customer. Okay, in link things happen a little differently. You have to come and find tenant here, and then it will ask you to give the .onmicrosoft.com domain. So you see this domain, you get it in the end customer account. Okay, so what you need to do to get this, you just log in to Office 365 customer account. Okay, or you tell the customer to log in into their customer account. They should go to setup, and then under setup you will have domains. Under domains you have two domains. Number one, the email domain, and number two, this domain that you are asking for. So you choose this domain and then you copy and paste here. Once you copy and paste, you will find tenant like that, and this is just a random, and then it will find it. If you put if you put the wrong domain name here, it means you will provide the licenses to the wrong customer, number one, or you will not provide the licenses to any customer at all. It will just fail. So this one is very important. You need to make sure you provide the correct domain name. So the safest way is just to tell the customer, you can do a video call with them, tell them, go to your setup under your admin. So first of all, go to your admin, go to setup, go to domains, and copy the correct domain name. Okay, once you copy ID like that, it will confirm that this one is for this organization over here. Okay, so if it doesn't confirm, you have a problem, so you need to recheck, and then you will verify. Okay, so once you verify, it will show you either this customer is linked to Redington or is not linked to Redington. Okay, so if this customer is not linked to Redington, you will send an email. Okay, so once you send an email, this email will go to the customer. The customer will click on accept invitation, and once they click on accept invitation, they will authorize Redington as their distributor. That does not mean that if maybe Redington is authorized as a distributor for a particular customer, another distributor cannot be an authorized distributor. It doesn't matter. If Redington is authorized, even another distributor can be authorized. But you need to do this in order to authorize Redington to provide the licenses for you. Okay. So once that is done, you will get something like this. I hope you can see. So once that is done, either you have linked or you have created. There are two options. You have linked or you have created. You will get something like this. So this one shows the domain. So this is the email domain for the customer. It has to be correct. It has to be the same as the email domain on the Microsoft portal. So yes, it has linked, and then the tenant ID. So what is required? What is required for the what is it called? The promotion licenses. I'll just show you right now. Just a minute. Okay, so I'm just sharing another screen so that you can be able to see what is required. Okay, so what is required for you as a partner to tell the customer, once you have already created the tenant ID and or linked the tenant ID, what is required is now, for example, this is the guide to enable 6 months trial subscription for Microsoft Teams Africa region. Okay, this is the African region. So we have two things. We have the promotion for the Microsoft Teams, and we have the promotion for the E1. Processes the same. So if you follow this process for the Microsoft Teams, or you follow the same process for the Microsoft E1, you will get the correct results. So we have already gone to the portal, we have linked, we have created a tenant. So number one, this is what it talk to the customer and identify the Office 365 tenant in which the trial subscription has to be enabled. Make note of the tenant and the tenant name. Okay, fine. We have already done that. Okay. Share the below invitation URL with the customer. The global admin user from the customer tenant has to accept this invitation. So number one, we have added the customer in the Redington portal. We have linked them. Okay, so we have their tenant ID, we have their company name, we have the partner MPN ID, and we have the country. Okay, so this is the information you're seeing here. This is what is required. So once you do all that, you will have the company name for the customer. You have the tenant ID for the customer. So what is the tenant ID here? What am I calling the tenant ID? Let me show you. What I'm calling the tenant ID is this. Okay, so you can take this one for the Microsoft CSP. This is what I'm calling the tenant ID. So once you get this, all right, and you get the company name. So for this particular customer, it was this customer. Okay. So what you require is what? The company name right there, number 1, and then the country, which is Kenya, and then the tenant ID that I showed you, and then number 4, you require the partner MPN ID. So as you can see, all this information is gotten in your CloudQuarks portal. So once maybe a salesperson asks you for this information, it is information that you should already have. If you don't have it, just ask them to guide you, or because you're in this training, now you know how to get all the information. So it's not any information that you don't have. And for your information, the MPN ID has to be active. So if the MPN ID shows an X here, it means that it is not active, and hence you will not be able to place anything, any order. That will be a problem. Until we reactivate it, that's when you'll be able to place. Okay. So let's go to the next step of these trial licenses. I just want you to see to completion what is required. So now we are here. I hope you can see my screen. Okay. Because I keep on changing from one screen to another. All right. So we have done all this. We have given this information. We have one more step to go, the final step. You see this link here? You need to, this banner, this particular form, it is shared. I will share it with all the partners, everyone. Okay. So once you have done all that, you need to share this link to the customer. Okay. So once you click on this link like that, let me just click on it for demonstration purposes, because I want this to be a live demo so that you can see exactly what needs to happen. So you see I've clicked on that link. It has brought me to, this is a customer portal. As you can see, this is a Microsoft customer portal. So it has brought me here. But if it doesn't bring you here, 2 options. Right now, I am logged in as a customer. Okay. I'm logged in as a customer. So this is the admin panel that I've been talking about. If you want to go and see the domain, you just show all, come to setup here, go to domains. Just a minute. Or maybe we can use, let us use Chrome. Okay, let me just copy this. Let me see if it will work. So setup domains. So this one is taking a while to load, but let me see if it load. Okay, fine, it has loaded. So this is the domain I'm talking about. Okay, so you just copy, you don't copy the whole thing, you just copy from here, because the other one is there. You can see it here on top here, and copy. Okay, like that. So that's what I'm talking about. So that is the domain. So what I'm saying on this other linking issue is that when you click on this link, it will take you to billing accounts. It will take you there immediately. But if it doesn't take you, just go here to the control panel, go to billing as I went like that, and then go to billing accounts. Okay, so as you can see, it's loading. What is the purpose of this link? You click, of the customer clicking this link. The purpose is that they are linked to Redington, because without this is a separate promotion that is happening, so it is not the same linking as the one in the portal, because previously if you want to buy any license, you just need to link once. Once you have the linking in the portal, that's it, you can be able to get the licenses, but these licenses are coming for free. So this is a separate linking that we need to do in order to provision the customer with the Microsoft licenses. So as you can see, it has brought me to this page. Okay, and then this one had already been, you see here, your account profile represents your organization legal entity, and it is used in agreement to signing. Okay, what is happening here is that this one is already linked. Okay, so for you it will bring authorize here in the bottom. Okay, and then you need to authorize Redington as your partner, because this one, as you can see, partnership, it is already linked to, this one is linked to Redington Ghana Limited. Okay, so this one is already linked. So for you, you need to tell the customer to authorize, because theirs will not be authorized, it will require to be authorized. Okay, so once they do this, now the process is complete. Now Redington is able to put the licenses into the customer portal. Which customer portal? This one that you're looking at. So once the licenses have been put, you just go to products here, and you will be able to view all the products, the 3,000 E1 products that Microsoft has put for you. 3,000 if it is E1. Teams, I think it is less than 3,000. So they will put a number of Teams licenses in your account. So that is how it works. So if you want to engage in promotion, in getting this promotion for your customer, those are the processes that you need to look at. So number one, go to the Redington portal, create your customer, link or create your customer. After you have linked and created your customer, you need to click the link so that they can be able to be linked to Redington, the account that will provision the licenses for them. After you've done that, you send. So the final process of this is that you send me that information that I had shown you earlier. Let me show you again. So after you've done all this, you send me this information. Let me just show you. It was on there. You send me company name, tenant ID, partner MPN ID, and partner country. So I'm saying you send me if it is East Africa. If it is West Africa, you send it to the respectable sales people there. I also have a colleague in East Africa, Adams. You can send it to him as well. Even so, you can send it to the respectable sales people in your region, this information. And once you do that, that is complete. You can be able to get the licenses. So that's it for the demo. If you want to get the promotions, that's what you need to do. And now we're just going to do a complete overview of the I'm just going to complete one or two things for the cloud portal that I have not talked about, to give you a complete scenario of what you're looking at if you have this portal with you. So now that was for the demo account. The other things that the cloud portal, the Cloud Quarks portal provides is you can be able to have your order list here. So this, what this does for you is that instead of you having to always remember these details or put them down somewhere, it is a one-stop shop where you can find all the details of all the orders that you've ever transacted with us for Microsoft. Okay. So contracts gives you the same idea of things, where you can have your contracts, the date that it was placed, meaning the renewal date. So you will never be able to mistake when you placed something or something like that. Okay. Okay. The other very important feature that we have in the Cloud Quarks is this, that is called the subscription management. Using this, you can be able to come, you will see all your customers here. For myself, you're not able to see because this is a demo account, okay? So you will see all your customers here, and customer, brand name, product, quantity, plan type, okay? So once you see them here, as you can see, you can download this information. Also, you can be able to terminate your license from here. You can be able to add or minus the license. So if you have Office 365 licenses and you have E1 and you have 10 of them here, you can be able, and the customer needs only 9 for this, maybe a period like this where people have had to be sent home or things like that, you can be able to minimize your cost. You can just come and minus 5 licenses and keep the licenses that are required to be used, okay, for the customer. So this is a very big advantage to the customer. We've seen it in use here in East Africa. I know also in West Africa, it has had a big impact in the cost management of yourself, the partner, and also the customer. Okay, it also helps when maybe the customer is not willing to pay. You can be able to come here and just go ahead and either terminate, or if you want to suspend the licenses, talk to the salesperson and they will be able to talk to the backend team so that they can be able to suspend license usage and until payment is done. So that is it for the sub. Sorry about that. So another something else that we have is the renewal management slot. So here icon. So here what happens is it shows you all the renewals that are coming up. And by the way, how the portal works is that if you have one renewal coming up in 3 days, okay, it will show you here due days, and then it will share with you email alerts. Okay, it will share with you email alerts that will enable you to determine when this particular license is going to expire. So if it is expiring maybe in the next 3 days, it tells you, do you want to renew or do you want to terminate? One important thing that has transitioned from the past portal that we did have in 2017 is that before we used to have auto renewal. What do I mean? Like if a license is expiring today, it automatically renews itself, which was a very big problem because you'll find that maybe the partner doesn't know that the license is getting auto renewed, and this is an extra cost to the partner and managing the portal, the CloudQuarks portal. So they are billed. When they are billed, they say we had not authorized this billing to happen because the customer already terminated the contract, and that was a problem. So now it has improved to where we have renewal management. You can be able to see the renewals that are coming. If you don't press on renew, it will be terminated. So if your customer is using Office 365 emails and their subscription has been terminated, their services will be discontinued automatically. So when they call you and tell you, hey, our emails are not working, that's when you can come and place the order again. But if you have a renewed contract with the customer, you don't have to place the order again. You just come, place on renew, the button will be around here, and then it will be approved by your sales manager. Okay, so here you will see the pending list of things that are not approved. Okay, then it will be approved to be renewed, and once it's approved, you will see it here, and then you yourself, you will be able now to click renew, and then it will auto renew. Okay, so we have 4 steps prohibiting a license to just come up and be auto renewed just like that. Okay, so this is a very, very important features for those of you who are in the call and previously, you know, were with us in those years. You know that it was a very big challenge, but this is how we've managed to sort it out. Okay, so I'll go on top here before I discuss these 3, because these 3 have a little bit of, I need to spend a little bit of time on them. So we go to something that I forgot here, user management. So everything that I've been talking about has been targeted to the customer, but user management is targeted to the partner. So, for example, here, this one shows you that you can be able to add members of your organizations either as a sales manager, account manager, or purchase manager. So for the finance, who is the purchase manager, they can be able to come here and download the invoices without waiting for us to share. Because for cloud billing, the salesperson is not in charge of it's not, you know, they are not the ones who are supposed to share the invoices. The invoices are already populated in your portal, so you can just come in and download the invoices for yourself. So this is where you add the designated people that are supposed to be in control of this function. Okay, so you just come, add the first name, email, phone number, and then activate and save. So you can have up to 5 people who are managing this portal. The beauty of this is that when maybe something happens in the portal or an order is placed, you are able to know who placed it, because each and every person has their own unique individual login details. Okay, so that is the beauty of this. So no one will ever say we don't know who placed this, because the one who placed it, they have a different login and they logged in separately. Okay, so I'm done with those things. Now let's come to pre-invoice. So under pre-invoice, this is where you can be able to get your Excel report on the invoices that you're supposed to pay. So as you can see, this portal generally allows you to have all your accounts together. So you will never say that we really don't know when, like now, the situation on the ground is that there's a lot of, you know, it's slowing down, but there's a lot of let me say confusion, because the customers are at home. Most organizations are closed and they are working from home, especially for the SMBs. So they are not sure of when their renewals are coming up, when this and that is happening. So for you as a partner, you need to at least be able to stay on top of things, and this portal will enable you, give you the tools to be able to do that. So here under pre-invoice, you can be able to download this report and it will show you when each invoice is being due. Okay, so you don't have to wait for the salesperson in your region to tell you, okay, this invoice is coming due tomorrow. You have had maybe 30 days of this information in your portal, so you need to know this one is coming up in 20 days. So how will I plan myself to, you know, to tell the customer early in advance so that they can pay us early? Okay, so that is there. And then we go to invoice and billing. In invoice and billing, this allows you to download the PDF report. So the Excel, the pre-invoice, you just download the Excel of the entire report. If you have 10 customers, the entire report of the 10 customers. But here under invoice and billing, you download the individual PDF format of the invoice that will be used for payment. Okay, so you just come here, you can filter in terms of months, or you can filter in terms of the end customer to give you all the invoices of that particular end customer in the month of April. Okay, so you can be able to do that. Okay, so this eliminates the delays that were previously there in sharing the invoices. So you can be able at least to get your invoices early in advance and schedule yourself to make a payment early in advance. Okay, so that's it for that. I'll discuss one more place, which is the usage reports. This is particularly for Azure and for those partners that were here in the mainly for things like storage and things like you know, infrastructure as a service, you know, infrastructure as a service type of conversation like storage, disaster recovery, and all those things. You can be able to understand that this portal also caters for you being able to provide your customer those types of services. So when you come here, what do you need for you to add an Azure partner? The process is pretty much the same. So you, first of all, you need to add your customer. Number two, you need to make sure in the, where is it? In the vendor setup, you activate your Azure, Azure status, because as you know, the CSP and the Azure are two different portals. So as you can see here, if you have activated your Azure, you also need to activate your CSP, and you can be able to use the same MPN ID to activate both. Okay, you don't need to have different, but some people do have different CSP and different for Azure. Okay, so now I can see the time has really passed by. We've not had a break, but it's okay, because I think the information was not really too much. It's something that you can be able to understand. Okay, so once you've set up your Azure, you come here to end customer, add the customer, same way as before. So you add your customer here. Once you've added your customer, the only difference is when you're linking, you need to link the Azure, Microsoft Azure, not the CSP. So if you have the CSP active and the Azure is not active, that means you cannot be able to transact with a customer for the Azure portal. Okay, so number one, by the way, for Azure, you need to link them. After you've linked them, step number two, you go here, all categories, the same way we were going to all categories and going to maybe Office 365 or Dynamics or things like that. We go to infrastructure as a service and we go to public cloud like that. Okay, so that's step number two. As you can see here, we have Azure Cloud Solution Provider. So as you know, when you're transacting with Microsoft for Azure, you have two options. You can transact directly with Microsoft, or you can transact via the Azure Cloud Solution Provider. So this is why here you are supposed to add to cart the Azure Cloud Solution Provider portal to your customer. So you add this to them, okay? You view cart, and then you go ahead here. I had not shown you, by the way, how to place an order. You go ahead here, proceed to checkout. And then you select the customer, maybe it's test customer 4, select like that. This is the customer that you're placing the order for. Here is where you put your LPO number and then you place the order. Once you place the order for this Azure Cloud Solution Provider program, okay, now it will be activated that your customer now is under the Azure Cloud Solution Provider program. Okay, so now once you've done all that, you've gone to the end customer management, added the customer, linked them, and then you've got to all categories, selected that and purchased it for $1. Now you come to usage reports. Okay, so once you come to usage reports, you will find that the customer you created here will appear here. Okay, so once you see them appear here, you can be able to add the credit that they require in order to purchase anything that they want from the Microsoft portal. Okay, so what happens is partners will differ and customers will differ. So some customers will want an annual subscription. Okay, they will want an annual what is it called, an annual reservation, where they give maybe $1,000 and the customer can use that $1,000 for 1 year. Okay, that is one option. And then option number 2 is a monthly usage. So some customers will want monthly usage so that they can cap the limit, the usage of the end customer, not to cross a certain amount. This can be done on your Microsoft Partner Network account, where you can go and cap the usage of the individual customer not to cross a certain amount. So here you will just put a cap of maybe $100 per month, and then you go and cap it in the Microsoft Partner Network so that it does not cross that amount per month. So it's like you're regulating the usage of your customer. Okay. The third thing, so we have annual, you can have monthly, which is pay as you go. And then the third one is reserved instance. So with Azure, Redington does provide reserved instances where you can be able to reserve the hardware or the servers, and then the storage and the OS will be pay as you go. Okay, so those are the three options. So when you're sending maybe a quotation for Azure, just know that it is not like a license where you give a quote and then you place an order. No, it is something that needs to be, first of all, estimated. So we will send for you a questionnaire where the customer will fill it. And then after that, after the estimate, we need to do all this that I have talked about in the portal. Okay, so that is probably it for the portal. I think I've mentioned everything that needs to be mentioned there. So at this point, I'll just go ahead and mention one or two things, and then after that, we can be able to have your questions. I can be able to have your questions that you have for me.
Susan, you can go ahead and answer all the Q&A session, what and all I have published on that post, yeah?
Okay. Okay. So before we end, I think just a minute, is there something I've missed? No, I think everything I have talked about. So let me just look at your questions. Harry, where can I check the question? In the...
This is on the publish, yeah? Q&A.
Okay, just
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Live event Q&A, yeah? You can go and see that question, whatever I have published, so you can answer to them.
Okay, thank you, Harry. Okay,
Yeah.
so looking at your questions, we have question number 1. How do I integrate Teams with PSTN calling? Okay, so with that one, we will need to have maybe a technical session so that we can be able to understand how to do that, okay, separately from this conversation. And then we have, what is the difference from Skype? Okay, the difference from Skype is that, with Teams, Skype, and all these things, the common denominator is SharePoint, okay? What enables you to be able to do all this sharing is public and private sharing is SharePoint. So Teams was the previous version, what Microsoft had in communication. We had a few challenges that the customer was saying that they encountered with these teams, with the Skype for Business, with the Skype for Business license. I can be able to mention a few that were some of the challenges. Just a minute. Okay, so for the improvements that have been done from Skype for Business to Teams are the below. So you can be able to drop off. For example, if we are in this call, some people can be able to drop off without interrupting the calls, and they can also be able to join back at the same time. As you recall with Teams, if you dropped off, then it would have interrupted or ended the call. And then we have audio and video quality, better quality on that. We have desktop sharing, and then we have low bandwidth network support. Okay, and then we have, you can be able to join the meeting, and then you can include dial back, and then you have cross company meeting simplification. For example, simplifying optional IP and port. So for what I'm trying to say is that Skype and Teams not very different, but Skype was the later version, and now Teams has some few improvements. That's why they decided to call it Teams and have Skype for Business included and other properties included, e.g. document sharing, e.g. creating private groups and then sharing private documentation on the same. With Skype for Business, you are not able to do that previously. So there are very many improvements that have been done to Teams in order to migrate from Skype to what we have now. Okay. Okay, I hope I have answered your question. If I have not, you can go ahead and just ask. Okay, the next question. You have said that you can schedule or create calendar using Teams. Yes, you can. Does it synchronize with the company Outlook calendars? Yes, it does. So that is simple. It does synchronize, because even if you know, you can be able to go and schedule a Skype meeting from your Outlook calendar. Okay, so all you need to do is just go to your Outlook calendar, schedule the time, and then you will see a slot up there that says Teams meeting. Okay, so you can either schedule it from Teams or you can schedule it from your Outlook calendar. So it will synchronize. Okay. The next question I have is that how do you create assignments and classrooms on Teams for education instructions? Okay. Okay, for education, it is just the same thing. So what you can do is that, as I had presented before, you can be able to see contacts. So what happens is that you just go and create all the contacts, okay? Or, for example, if you have Office 365 E1 and all the users are added to your domain, to your admin panel, okay? When you're downloading Teams from your admin panel, all these users will be saved, okay? So when you're going to Teams, you will just add each individual class separately, okay? So you can create a private team for maybe class for example, if it is a university, you can create a private team for class for IT, private team for class for this other maybe actuarial science and statistics and all those things. And then each individual lecture, the lecturer will be able to, the students will be able to enter that class, because now it will be a public classroom. Each student can be able to enter that public session, and they can be able to check what is being presented by the lecturer and all that, just as I am doing right now. So what I'm doing right now, as you can see, is that I shared a link, so the professor can be able to share a link to all the students of that class, okay? And then they can go ahead, so the link will have a specific time as well. So they can be able to go and click on that link, and during the time of the class, they will be prompted to log in, and they will come in, all of them, during that class, listen in on the lecture, and then after it, the lecturer will drop the call. So it's very simple. It is the same thing we are doing here. It's just that it will be in another organization, which is an education entity. Same thing. Okay. Kindly explain, and in that also, let me mention that in the classroom setup, you can be able to share maybe an assignment, because of the document sharing capability that Teams have. You can be able to share an assignment as a lecturer, and then each and every student will be able to download that document and then go and work on their assignment privately. After they have worked on the assignment privately, they will upload their separate assignments, and the lecturer will be able to get them. They can also, if it's a group discussion, be able now from that lecture to form separate group discussions, discuss separately, and then share the document, the assignment. Maybe if it's in group of 5, they can share the document within that group of 5 and another group of 5 to the lecturer. So all these capabilities are available for the education sector. Okay, next question. Kindly explain more on the email storage for E1, E3, and E5. Do they have the same storage size for emails? Okay, so on the email storage, as I said, for E1, it has 50 GB. Let me just confirm on that. So for the email storage for E1, it does have 50 GB for the mailbox per user. Yes, they for E3, let me just check on my PowerPoint presentation. Yes, yes, they do have the same. Yes, they do have the same storage. Yes. Yes, so it is confirmed that for both E1, E3, and E5, they have 50 GB for the mailbox. Okay. Okay. So the other question is, what is CSP? So CSP, as I have been saying throughout the presentation, is cloud solution provider. So what that means is that when you're transacting with Microsoft, you have two ways of doing it. So the number one way of doing it is being an indirect provider. And then the number two is being a direct provider. So what happens with the hierarchy of Microsoft, I think I can share a presentation with you here to make you fully understand that. Okay, I hope you can see this. So what I mean by CSP is we are a direct provider. So the hierarchy from Microsoft is you have Microsoft as the vendor, and then you have the CSP provider, which is Redington, okay? And then we have the CSP reseller, which is the partner, and then we have the end customer. That is how the hierarchy goes, okay? So with the cloud solution provider, which is Redington, you can be able to okay, as a partner, you can have two ways. You can decide to go directly to Microsoft, which will make you as a partner a direct provider, okay? Or you can decide to be an indirect reseller where you go through Redington like this, but you get extra benefits. So what happens is that with Redington, we have already created our own CSP portal, which is the CloudQuarks portal, and we share it with our partners for free so that they can be able to transact. But if you are to go directly like this, you would have to make your own investment so that you can be able to become a CSP direct provider. So CSP just means cloud solution provider. You're going through the channel. You're not going directly through Microsoft. You're going through the channel where the distributor is in between you and Microsoft. So even payments, you're making payments to Redington, not to Microsoft directly.
Thank you, Susan, for answering this.
Pardon?
Yeah, continue, Susan.
Okay. So do we have any other questions? No. Okay.
We don't have any other
apart
questions.
from that one, yeah, so apart from that one question, which I will answer separately privately, because it's a technical question and it's a hands-on thing you have to do. So, and I don't have a demonstration for it today. So apart from that one, I hope I have answered all your other questions on the CSP promotions. We have currently 2 CSP promotions that we are running for the Office 365 E1, 3,000 users for 6 months free. We have the Teams for, I'm not sure of the number of users, but it is less than 3,000 and it is for 6 months as well. And we have for the education, which is 5,000 for faculty and 5,000 for students. So that is it from me. I hope you have learned 1 or 2 things. And thank you very much, Harry. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Susan, for your wonderful presentation. So thank you guys for attending this webinar, and we will share with you all the slides. Once we got it from Susan, we sent it across email to you, and you can view it and you can read it. If you have any doubt or clarity, you can contact Susan directly, and I will send you the contact details of Susan on the email as well. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, guys. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
everyone for attending this wonderful session. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye. See you, guys.